Story begins with two high school students, Youta Narukami and Ashura. As soon as Youta finishes a basketball game with his friend, a mysterious girl named Odin proclaiming that she's an omniscient god presents herself to him. Youta tries to ask who Hina is, but she cuts him off, and Youta thinks she was a lost child. She says she wants to play basketball with him and his friend. To this, Youta allows her to join them and introduces Odin to Ashura in the basketball court. Like Youta, Ashura figures Odin is a lost child and suggests they take her to a police station. That makes Odin angry. Ashura passes the basketball to Odin. Before she tries to take a shot, asks if she makes a successful shot, something good will happen. After hearing this, Ashura takes the ball from Odin and says they should take her to the police station. Youta says they have to calm down and tells Odin they're trying to take a break from studying for their entrance exams. Hearing this, Odin tersely states that it's pointless to study as the end of the world will occur in 30 days. Not believing her, Ashura calls it quits for that day, leaving Youta who has a date with someone later that day. After Ashura rides off on his motorcycle, leaving Youta and Odin behind, the two then fully introduce themselves to each other. Odin throws a tantrum learning that Yuta's surname is written like Great Sun God, while hers is simply Sato. This leads to Hina disclosing where she's from, and since Youta is in a hurry to meet someone whose surname is Izanami in the library, Odin decides to follow him to his meeting with Kyuko Izanami. Initially, Youta is against this due to how she's dressed but concedes as long as Odin behaves herself. On their way to the library, Hina purchases an umbrella, and they continue their walk to their destination. As Youta claims it's silly for Hina to use an umbrella on a sunny day, much to his surprise, it then starts to rain. Right as he tries to catch the bus, Odin admonishes the notion, realizing that it has already departed without him. She suggests that our feet are faster than the bus and advises him to walk instead. The rain then stops, and as the two continue walking forth and see that the bus was caught in traffic, they eventually reach the library and meet with Kyuko, who is busy studying with many boys sitting close by admiring her. Youta introduces Hina to Kyuko, and Hina tells Kyuko about Yuta's love for her. Youta is thrown out of the place due to his outburst. Outside of the library, the two start walking and talking about the end of the world. Youta is skeptical that it will happen as much as he is that gods exist. On the other hand, Hina reassures him that it will happen and it will be due to humanity's foolish choices. In order to prove her claims to Youta, Hina channels Natsumi Soseki, but Youta doesn't buy it. Stomach grumbling from Hina belly makes it painfully obvious that she's hungry. As part of a deal, Youta treats Hina to some ramen in exchange for her going back home when she finishes. At the ramen shop, the owner misinterprets Youta and Hina's relationship with each other, much to Yuta's chagrin. As the TV plays a horse race, Hina predicts that a lame horse will win the race, impressing the ramen shop owner. However, Youta is deeply skeptical about Odin's omniscient powers. To prove herself, Hina accurately predicts the full outcome of the next horse race. The ramen shop owner becomes astounded and avaricious, trying to coax Youta into using Odin's powers to make them billionaires. Panic-stricken, Youta leaves the money for their meal on the counter and dashes off with Hina in hand as the ramen shop owner pleads for their return. Somewhere on a highway, Youta is overwhelmed by Odin's omniscient power, and she states that her power is true. Hina offers to stay with him until the world ends, in exchange for Youta being able to use her power for whatever he wants. Youta decides to use Odin's power to pass the entrance exam to the same college Kyuko is attending. However, Hina reiterates that the world will end in 30 days, so that is impossible. Though she initially regrets deciding to stay with Youta, she eventually decides to help him and use her power to meet Kyuko's standards. Youta asks what it will take for Kyuko to like him, and Hina notes that she is an avid fan of baseball and enjoys watching things related to the sport. This upsets Youta, as he has been playing basketball for the long time. Therefore, Hina sets up a baseball game for Youta, where he plans to strike a grand slam and make his team win the game. After the baseball game, Youta becomes agitated because the last piece of advice Hina gave him did not work. He argues with Odin, claiming that she set him up for failure, and Kyuko witnesses everything. Hina convinces Youta to be blunt with Kyuko, as the world will end in less than 30 days. However, Kyuko flatly rejects him when he confesses. Mortified by the entire experience, Youta asks Hina to return home. However, Hina cannot, and suggests that she live with him for the time being. She goes as far as to proclaim that if Youta contacts his parents and asks if she can live with them for a while, they will agree to it. Sure enough, when Youta explains Odin's situation to his mother, she allows it.